One of the most infamous personalities on the left, and you've got to give the guy credit where credit's due. A lot of people have heard of him, is Stephen Bonnell. Many of you may know him as the guy who had an open marriage and of course it failed, or the guy who had a kid out of wedlock or has a different divorce. No, I can't really be sure, but the guy whose life is a complete mess, yet still garners thousands and thousands of viewers for his live streams, much larger than mine, telling 14-year-old radical leftoids how to live their lives. If you watch Destiny, you have reached the end of the internet. He is somebody who says things specifically for clout, the most heinous things he can think of. He said Corey Compertor, who lost his life in Butler, Pennsylvania, deserved it for being at the president's rally. He has said heinous things about Charlie Kirk. He has said heinous things about conservatives. Everything you think about Hassan Piker, that or worse has been said by Stephen Bonnell, a very small man from Florida who is extraordinarily good at continuing to have a pretty decent sized audience. Again, I'm not going to pretend like the guy doesn't have an audience, because he does. He has evaded many, many, many ban-worthy offenses. He has subscribed to the dark side Phil pact with the devil to outlast us all. And well, some court documents came out last Friday, or at least were posted to the internet. Perhaps they were already out, but they came across my desk and they were shared there with me from our Discord. By the way, if you haven't joined our members Discord, our Halloween bonanza, Halloween Spookoween contest bonanza, whatever, starts tomorrow. So make sure you join the Discord at thequartering.com/join. We're trying to get 200 members this month. We're at 17 so far. We're off to a great start. So hopefully you'll join and then you can partake in that, and obviously talk in all of our other chat rooms and send messages directly to me and get your stuff on the show. This is from Sarah Fields. According to court filings dated October 3rd, 2025. Okay, so these are new. These were then Friday. Evidence now confirms the live streamer and political commentator Destiny, also known as Stephen Bonnell, engaged in a bedroom-like relationship with somebody who is too young and then attempted to transport her across state lines. This is obviously, if these documents are true, if it is true, he's probably looking at some real prison time here. This is not a meme. This isn't a joke. And boy, they're going to have fun with him. I know he swings both ways. We've all unfortunately seen the video of maybe one of the worst BJs ever given, but that's neither here nor there. Until recently, speculation surrounded whether or not, quote, Rose, this is the person he was talking to, how old they were, with Stephen repeatedly denying the claims in his chat room. Recent court documents, specifically page 7 and Exhibit B, now redacted, original certification of Department of Motor Vehicles driving record, confirm Rose's date of birth was October 30th, 2004, which aligns with traffic ticket found online. Thus, when Destiny was exchanging adult content with Rose between March of 2022 until October 30th of 2022, Rose was too young. Now, in 2022, this kid would have been, 14, 6 and 2, 16? No, well, wait. Born on October 30th. So they were 17 at the time. I know it's still a minor, it's still illegal. And the trying to transport across state lines, obviously that is a major offense. Much like with other people caught talking to folks, like, I guess you could say, well, at least they weren't 8, but 17, and he would have been in his 30s at the time. You know, he had a kid around that age. So I just don't know. As a result, a motion now to seal the case has been filed. Sealing is deemed necessary to protect Rose's substantial substantial privacy interests, particularly because she was young at the time during the period revealed in the complaint. Here we have the court documents. Defendant once again argues that Card 2 does not apply retroactively. Plaintiff had never contended that Card 2 applied retroactively. In fact, it is plaintiff, not defendant, who's made efforts to obtain evidence from Rose. Plaintiff hired a private investigator to ascertain Rose's legal identity and location, and has just this week managed to serve Rose with a subpoena to appear at a deposition. After finally ascertaining Rose's legal identity, plaintiff, this is Stephen Bonnell, has obtained evidence that Rose's date of birth is October 30th, 2004. Thus, when Bonnell was exchanging these graphic images with Rose between March of 2022 and October of 2022, Rose was a minor. See Exhibit B, hereto and redacted by official certification. So here you have their driving record. You see the report date, all this information. Now, essentially, Stephen, like, okay, here's probably the big lesson here. Why are you exchanging these type of images with your viewers in the first place? I'm not exactly sure why anyone would do that. This guy would have been, let's see. I don't know how old is he. How old is Destiny? Stephen Bonnell. He's 36. He was born in 88. So in 2000 and when was this? 2022. So 88 to 98 is 10. 2008 is 20. 2018 is 30. He was 34 talking to someone who was 17. Gross. Could you even imagine? Like, look, I could excuse it if he was 18 or 19. Again, not okay, but I mean, it's like, yeah, there were people, high school girls that dated guys who had graduated a year before. It's not like that salacious. It's illegal. You got to know your laws. But, also the transporting across state lines is obviously a major, major crime. Plaintiff's unopposed motion to leave to file exhibits under seal. Here, pursuant to Local Rule 5.4 of the Southern District of Florida, plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her undersigned counsel, respectively moves this court to leave to file under seal the unredacted versions of Exhibit B and C to plaintiff's opposition to defendant's motion to dismiss amendment complaint in his support of this good cause motion. Here's the plaintiff. Okay, so actually the plaintiff is the 17-year-old. Now, I'm not sure what she's suing him for. To be honest with you, she seemingly was participating in these conversations willingly in his Discord. I'm not sure what she's actually trying to sue him for other than to maybe seal the documents. To me, Destiny is definitely degenerate. I mean, he himself will admit that. His own public online persona, clearly supports that. But we now know for a fact that he was talking to somebody who was underage. Yikes. This is a massive yikes. Court has already determined, this says, that defendant's evidence regarding the disclosure to Rose is, quote, murky at best. Oof. None of the evidence presented in the defendant's motion regarding the timing of his disclosure to Rose is new. The same evidence has been presented to the court numerous times. See ECF 42-109. Indeed, the court has already reviewed the same evidence that is held in, quote, the evidence establishing a definitive timeline as to what the defendant did not do is murky at best. The court also noted that noticeably absent from the defendant's arguments generally regarding the subject matter jurisdiction is testimony from Rose that would corroborate the defendant's characterization that incorporates in Exhibit C a screenshot from Rose's Discord account. Despite this clear directive from the court, Defendant failed to submit any corroborating evidence from Rose, and instead simply submitted the same evidence and arguments that the court have already rejected. Thus, there is no need for the court to revisit the issue on this basis alone, and the court can deny the motion. The defendant, I mean, this is serious stuff. By the way, he's been doing this for years. Here's a clip of him admitting it to other YouTubers years ago.
But no, you said she sent me pictures that made it so hard. So when you saw a 15-year-old girl, you were sexually attracted to her.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Like, there were 16-year-old chicks that are really fucking hot. I was like 23 or 24 at the time. Like,
so
yeah,
you were an adult.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you, like,
you were an adult at the time.
I have never, yeah, of course. But I'm not going to say.
Oof. Oof. I mean, I don't know. Like, if we look at this, you know, streamer accused of sending spicy texts to someone who was 17 in viral old screenshots. This is when it all came out in August. But new court documents reveal this is very, very bad. The screenshots, if accurate, included spicy references and raised alarm because of Rose's age at the time. Destiny has responded to say that she told me she was 19. However, I'm assuming that he has not been able to prove that she said that. He also pointed to claims that Rose had produced large amounts of spicy content, arguing that this complicated the narrative being pushed against him. Maybe just don't be talking to your viewers and your fans. You know, let me actually look. Destiny lawsuit, Florida. Here's court listener. Complaint against defendants, filing fees. Here's the main document, complaint. This is as of starting in February, going on into March, April. I mean, this is a big deal. You know, if I ask, let me ask Grok. Let me see if Grok will illuminate, go through some of these documents for me quick. Whoops, sorry, I hit my mic there. All right, so Grok, keep hitting it. Sorry. What are the charges against Destiny? I don't know if I might have to say Stephen Bonnell. Let's see. Okay, I found Stephen Bonnell. Yep. Okay. So I knew that. Several civil lawsuits, including one for sharing revenge porn. Federal charges are being considered for inciting attacks based on recent news. Yikes. I mean, this guy is like, he's on a house of cards, and you're going to end up with probably some actual charges here. Some actual charges. Let's see here. We're waiting for Grok. Come on, Grok. I mean, we already basically know. So sharing. So that looks like this person is mad that he shared these photos in his Discord or videos in his Discord. New details. Browsing show revenge porn lawsuit by Pixie seeking $2 million. That's a different person, by the way. So there are multiple charges against this person. Alleging sharing this video without consent. October 23rd, Destiny exchanged spicy images with a minor, Rose, when she was 17. Currently, no criminal charges are filed consistently, only civil. Here's October 6th. As of today, Stephen Kenneth Bonnell, known as Destiny, has not been reported as facing any criminal charges or indictments. However, he has the defendant in multiple ongoing civil lawsuits, and several serious allegations against him have surfaced that could potentially lead to criminal investigations or charges. So he's got Doe versus Bonnell, Grace Thorpe versus Bonnell. This is the Pixie one. Several lawsuits, all of it being tied to being degenerate. This is your hero on the left. Hope he doesn't drop the soap. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't, please subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.